Hello friends, welcome to my course Learn MERN Stack Authentication and Deployment. So are there any course requirements or prerequisite? To work on this project, you must have the following skill sets. You must have basic knowledge of HTML, basic knowledge of CSS, and basic knowledge of JavaScript. So what is the course objective? Participant will be able to implement MERN Stack concept in current and future project. What you will learn in this course? So we will create a MERN Stack authentication using React, Node, Express, and MongoDB. Who are the targeted students? Students with no MERN Stack experience, front-end developers and back-end developers, anyone who want to learn MERN Stack authentication and deployment. By the end of the course, you will have the following skill sets. Hands-on regarding practical and real-life scenarios of creating authentication using MERN Stack. So let's get started. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will prepare backend dependencies for our MERN app. I have VS Code open and I have created a folder on my desktop with the name MERN auth. Okay, so this is the folder which I have created, MERN-auth. Right now it is empty. Okay, so let's go to VS Code and we need to open the terminal. So I'll press Ctrl and backtick key to open the terminal. You can open it by clicking terminal, new terminal also, okay, or else you can do Control and backtick key. So the folder is on my desktop, so I'll do cd desktop. Okay, now I need to go inside the folder, so cd MERN auth, this is my folder name. Okay, now I'm inside the folder. We also need Node.js installed in our machine. If you don't have Node.js, just go to Google and type Node.js. So this is the first link, just click on it and you need to install this LTS version. Okay, I have already installed in my machine. Once installed, you can check it in the terminal by typing node space -- version. So mine is 14.15.3, and then you can also check npm version by typing npm -- version. Okay, so it is 6.14.9. okay, let me clear this. So now we will initialize node package. So we need to type npm init -y and press enter. Okay, so a package.json file has been created. So let's open our folder. So click on open and desktop, then we have MERN auth, open. Okay, so let me open the package.json file. So we will change the values later in this course. For now, let's install the dependencies. So let's go to terminal again. So Control and backtick key. Okay, and here I will type npm install. The first package is bcrypt.js. Okay, so bcrypt.js is a package that helps us to hash password so we can safely store password in our database. Then we have config. So config is a package that allows us to define a set of default parameters and even extend them for different deployment environments like development, staging, Q&A, and so on. Then we have Express. This is going to be our backend server, and we also have Express Validator. So Express Validator. Now Express Validator is a set of Express.js middleware that allows us to create a validation chain for input field, and we will see that in action later. Then we have Jest. So Jest is a JavaScript unit testing framework that is really simple to configure and use. Jest is one of the most popular unit testing framework. In fact, we can use it to test both front-end and back-end. And Jest is so popular with React that it comes bundled with Create React app. Then we have JSON Web Token. So JSON Web Token is a package that allows us to generate, decode, and verify JSON Web Tokens, which essentially act as a credential that can subsequently provide access to resources for our users. And then we have Mongoose. Mongoose is a wrapper for interacting with MongoDB. Okay, now if I want to suppress the deprecation warning and warning from not having a repository URL set up in my package.json, I can specify --log level equals to error. Okay, and that will show only errors. However, it is good practice to see what you are getting as deprecation warning and so on, so that you can take care of problems beforehand if they are severe enough. So I'll remove this. We want to see the deprecation warnings. Okay, now let's press enter. So getting some error, let's do it again. Okay, so npm install bcrypt.js config express validator just JSON Web Token and mongoose. Okay, let's press enter. Okay, now it is working fine. Okay, so we are getting some deprecation warning. So just ignore it. It won't affect our application. Now we will install development dependencies. So let me clear this out. So clear, and I will install development dependencies. So npm install, and then we will do -d. Okay, then we can use concurrently. So con currently, a tool that allows us to run multiple commands concurrently to start both front end and back end while we are developing both. And then we have nodemon. So nodemon monitors for changes and restart the server. So we don't have to worry about doing that every time we make a change. Okay. Now let's press enter. So these two are the development dependencies. So here, as you can see, these are the development dependencies concurrently and nodemon. Okay. Now we will modify this package.json file. Okay, so let me close this. So name will be MERN auth. Okay, if you want to change the name, you can change it. Description, I will do MERN app to learn authentication. Okay, so we are not going to have index.js as our main entry point. We are going to have server.js. So let's remove this index and do server.js. Okay, and then we will create the script right away. So that's going to be server. So just remove the test and do server, and the server script will use nodemon. Okay, so I specify nodemon in the script, and finally in the author I will do tech academy. Okay, so let's save this file and we are good to go. So we have installed all the dependencies for the project. Now in the next video, I will create the server.js file and we will create the Express app. Okay, so this is it for this video, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will create server.js file. So inside the root directory, we will create a new file and name this as server.js and hit enter. So the first thing we are going to need is we need to import Express. So the way we do this is we declare a new variable and we are going to declare it using const keyword because we want the variable to be constant. We are not going to change this variable down the line, and we are going to call it as Express, and we are going to set it equal to require and open and close round brackets, and as a string we can type Express. Now what we have done here is we are telling Node to load the Express library or Express framework and then just store it in this Express variable. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to create an app, an Express app. So the way you do it in Express is we will create another variable and we will just call it app. So again, const app that is equal to Express, and the way you initialize in Express application is just open and close parentheses. So now not only we have imported the Express framework, but we have also initialized a functioning Express app. Now we can start to code the actual endpoints. Okay, let me save this. So you might have heard about APIs. Essentially, what we are going to do is build an API. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to build a quick hello world example to see if our Express application is up and running successfully. So we are going to say app.get. So it's a get request we want to do to the root directory. So we will type / inside a string. Okay. So this is the first parameter. And the second parameter is a callback function, which is going to be processing the request to this root directory. So the way this works in Express is any callback function in what's called a HTTP handler, which is what we are defining here. So it's a arrow function. Okay. So our callback function will be an arrow function, and this will have two parameters, request and response. Okay. Let me add a comment here, just a test route for now. Okay. So request is going to be called whenever it receives a HTTP request to this path, and it is going to be sending both request and response information to our function handling this request, and we have to capture the request and response, and then inside the body of the function we need to define what we are going to do with the request and response. Since this is very quick hello world example, so what we are going to do is we are going to simply do a implicit return by saying response dot send, and inside the round brackets we can say hello world. Okay. So anytime we hit this root directory of our Express application, we are just going to be sending a text which is called hello world. So the final thing that we are going to do is we need to get our Express app up and running, and the way we do this is we need to define what port on our machine is, what is need to listen to for inbound traffic. So we can say app.listen, and here we can define our port, which in our case will be 5000, and again a callback function. Okay, so it will be an arrow function. So basically Express doesn't send us anything, so we do not have any parameter, and we can just console log, and here we can say server started on port 5000. Okay. Now one more thing which we can do is we can store this port inside a variable. Okay. So here we can define a variable. So const, and the variable name can be port, that is equal to process.env.port or 5000. Okay. So this is good to use for Heroku deployment to get our port. Okay. So here let me add a comment. This is good to use for Heroku deployment to get the port. Okay. Now here we can just remove this. No need to remove this. We can just add a backtick key. Okay. And let's cut this out. Let's remove this, and here I'll paste it. And instead of this 5000, I can just say dollar curly braces, and we can get the variable here. Okay. We can use the variable here. Okay. So let's save this. Now let's open the terminal by pressing Control and backtick key, and here we can just run the app. So npm run server. Okay. And I've hit enter. So here it says server started on port 5000. Okay. Let's go on the browser and let's see localhost, and here 5000. Hit enter. So here, as you can see, we are getting hello world. So our Express app is up and running. Okay. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will create MongoDB Atlas account. So let's go to the browser, and here I'll type mongodb.com. Okay. And press enter. So here you need to click on try free. So here is the sign up form. You can either fill this form or you can just click on sign up with Google. Okay. So here I will be using this form. So let me type my name, surname. The company is Tech Academy, and email is techacademy2019@gmail.com. Password, I'll keep my password. You can create your own password, and you just need to click on I agree to terms of service and privacy policy, and then we can just click on create your Atlas account. Okay. You can either use sign up with Google if you have a Gmail account, I was having Gmail account, but still I want to show you this option. So by filling the form, let me close this. Okay, we need to verify the email. So I'll just pause the video and I'll just verify the email. Okay, so my verification link is expired. So let me click on recent verification email. So here it is written, this link will expire after 2 hours. Okay, so let's click on verify email. Okay, so my email is successfully verified. Let's click on continue. Then let's close this Gmail account. Okay, now it is saying welcome. Use your account to deploy a cloud database with MongoDB at least and contact support. Okay, so now it is redirecting me to these options. So what is your goal today? Okay, so let's click on learn MongoDB. What type of application you are building? Okay, so I'm just selecting randomly I'm selecting. Okay, so let's click on content management. Okay, what is your preferred language? So let's click on JavaScript and click on finish. Okay, so here are the options: serverless, dedicated, or shared. So let me close this. So this is the free one which we wanted to use. Okay, so let's click on this and then let's click on create. Okay, so a cluster will be created. Okay, so let's click on create. Okay, so now the cluster option is here. So we can create our cluster on AWS or Google Cloud or Azure. So by default, AWS will be selected. So let it be selected and we just need to click on create cluster. Okay. Okay, so here it will take up to 3 to 5 minutes to create the cluster. Okay, so we need to wait for at least 5 minutes. Okay, so let me pause the video and I'll be back in 5 minutes. So while this cluster is being created, okay, let's click on database. So now it is in the background, it says your cluster is being created, and here there is a list. Okay, so where you can see few options like build your first cluster, create your first database user, add IP address to your add IP address to access list. Okay, so and then there are two more like load sample data, which is optional, and then there is one more, connect to your cluster. Okay, so this is a handy list. So let's minimize this. Okay, so the cluster is still being created, so it will take up to 7 or 10 minutes to provision. Okay, so let's wait. Let me just pause the video. So now our first cluster has been created. The cluster name is cluster 0. Okay, and now under security you can just click on database access, and here you can add new database user. So let's click on this. Okay, so there are some options. We need to select this password. Okay, so I'll just use the username as Tech Academy. You can give whatever username you want. Okay, I'll just keep Tech Academy 123, and password also I'll keep same, Tech Academy 123. Okay, let me just check. Okay, and if you want to auto generate the password, you can just click on this, but you need to just copy that auto generated password and save it somewhere. Okay, because once you forget, then again you need to auto generated. So it's better to create your own new password and remember it, or I think you just need to save it somewhere. Okay, so now this user has the option of read and write to any database. So this is good because we need that user to be able to read and write to the database. Okay, so now we just need to click on add user. Let me close this. So I think this user is being created. Now we have some other tasks to complete. Let's see what are the tasks. So once you click on get started, you can see the list. So this is done. database user is created. Now we need to add the IP address to access list. So we need to click on network access, okay, and here you need to click on add IP address. So here are two options. First one is add current IP address, and the second one is allow access from anywhere. So I'll just click on allow access from anywhere, okay. So now we don't have to do anything. We just need to click on confirm. Okay, now the status is active. So that's all we need for this point, okay. Now let's click on get started. So load sample data, this is optional, and connect your cluster. So this we will do in the next video, okay. We will connect our cluster to our application. So right now just click on no thanks and just click on dismiss it, okay. Only one task is remaining that we will do in the next video. So now if I click on database, so this is our cluster name, cluster 0, and once I click on connect, so here are the options. As you can see, it says connect with MongoDB shell, connect your application, connect with MongoDB Compass, and connect using VS Code. So I think this is something new. First there were only three options. Now they have added this fourth one also. So we will be using connect your application, okay. So but we will be doing this in the next video, okay. So let me show you what it is. So if I click on this, so this is the string, okay. We just need to copy this, and then we need to add the password, okay. We need to replace this password, as it says replace password with the password for Tech Academy 123, okay. In my case, the password is also same, so that I'll show in the next video. And here also it says replace my first database with the name of database, okay. So we need to give our database name, okay. So instead of my first database, we need to give our database name, okay. So that we will see in the next video, okay. So I think we are good to go. Our MongoDB database has been configured and we are ready to use it, okay. So this is it for this video, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will connect MongoDB Atlas to our application, and we will also see how to handle errors. So first of all, we need to create folder in the root directory, okay. So in the root directory, I will create a folder with the name config, and inside I'll create a new file with the name default.json, okay. And here I'll create an object, and I'll need a property with the name MongoDB underscore URI, and that is going to be the string, okay. So let's go to the MongoDB account, and here inside the database there is an option. Just click on this connect, and here we need to select connect your application, and we need to copy this string and just go back to Visual Studio Code, and inside double quote we need to paste it, okay. And we need to replace this password with our password. So in my case, my password is Tech Academy 123, okay. And here we need to change the database name, so I'll just say MERN auth, okay. Let me save this. So this is done. Now we will create one more file inside the config folder with the name db.js. So I'll be using Mongoose Connect to connect with MongoDB. So I'll create a variable with the keyword of const, and I'll be pulling Mongoose and storing it in a variable called Mongoose. So Mongoose, this is the variable name, and we need to pull Mongoose. So require, and inside single quotes or double quotes, we need to pull Mongoose, okay. Then we also need to pull config. So again, we need to define a variable with the name config, and that is going to be require, and here I will do config, okay. Then we will also create one more variable, okay, with the name db, and here we need to set it to config.get, okay. And here we need to get the property, which is this one from default.json. So let's copy this, and here we need to pass that property name, okay. So this is the value which we have defined here, okay. let me save this. Now we will have our function. So let's create it. So const, and the function name is connect db. So Mongoose connect method returns a promise, and therefore in the server we will set up async await. So here I'll do async. Okay, and then we will have an arrow function, and inside this we will have a try catch block. So try catch. Okay, so inside this we will do await, and here we will pass mongoose dot connect, and this inside this parentheses we'll pass the db, which is this variable. Okay, so that we can get this value. Okay, then we can just console log. So console log MongoDB connected successfully. Okay, and in the catch block we can have the error message. So console dot log, and here we can say error dot message. Okay, then we can have the, and then we can exit process with the failure code. So let's do that. So process dot exit, and that is going to be 1. Okay, so let me add a comment here, exit process with a failure code. Okay, let me save this, and now we need to bring this variable, this function, inside server.js. So let's go to server.js, and here we need to do const connect db, and here we need to do require, and where is the file? That is inside config /db. Okay, so inside this folder we have this db.json. Okay, and then we need to call this function anywhere here. So let's do it here, connect. I'll just add a comment, connect to database, and let's call this function. So connect db. Okay, let's save this. And one more thing, this should be done in the last lecture. Here we have defined a variable, so now we don't need this 5000. We can just pass this variable here. Okay, so this is done. Let's save this. Now let's run this file. Let's run this application. So npm run server, hit enter. Okay, getting some error. ConnectDB is not a function. Okay, what name we have given here? ConnectDB. Okay, we need to export this. Sorry for that. So module dot exports, and that is going to be ConnectDB. Okay, let me save this. Now it will start. Okay, so server started on port 5000, and here is the message: MongoDB connected successfully. Okay, so our MongoDB connection is done. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we'll look at building data models. So we need to create a model for any resources that we want to interact with within our database. So we need to create a new folder inside our root directory. So inside our root directory, we will create a new folder, and we will name it as models. Okay, and inside models, we will create a new file with the name user.js. Okay, so please keep the first letter capital. So U is capital, and the file name is also singular. So it's not users.js, it is user.js. So we have user model and not a users model. Okay, so this is convention, and let's hit enter. Now in user.js, we need to use what's referred to as a schema. This schema simply defines the different fields within the models. So first we need to pull the mongoose. So we need to define a variable const mongoose, that is equal to require, and here we need to pull mongoose. Okay, now we will create a variable with the name user schema and set it to a new instance. So new, and then mongoose dot schema, and open and close parentheses, and inside we will have an object, and here we can define the fields that we want to store. So the first one is name, okay, that is going to have type of string, okay, and require, that is going to be true. It's required, okay, not required. So this name property is having this attributes. And now the second one is email, okay, that is also having type of string, and then require is true, and then we need to have a unique email ID, so unique, that is going to be true, okay. Then we have the third field, which is password, okay, and the type is again string, and require is true. So here it is required and not required, okay. So my mistake. So it should be required, and then we can export this user schema, so it will be available throughout the application, okay. So here I'll do module dot exports, that is equal to user, okay, and that is again equal to mongoose dot model. So in mongoose dot model, okay, inside mongoose dot model we have two parameters. So the first one is the name, so the name will be user, and the second parameter will be the schema name. So in our case it is user schema, okay. Let me save this file. Now let's run the application. So control and backtick key. Okay, so the server is started on port 5000 and MongoDB is connected successfully. Okay, so we have successfully created the user model, and this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will build API routes using Express Router. So in the root folder, we will create a new folder with the name routes. And inside the routes folder, I will create a new folder with the name API. And inside this API folder, I'll create a new file with the name users.js. So users.js file is a route file, and in my route file, we need to pull express. So const express equals to require express. And we will create an instance of express router. So const router equals to express dot router. R should be capital, okay. And we also need to use bcrypt. So const bcrypt equals to require bcrypt JS, okay. Let me save this. And then we need to bring in user models. So const user equals to require dot slash models slash users, okay, user. Let me save this. Now we need to create the routes, okay. So router dot get, and the first argument is a slash, and second one is an arrow function. So request and then response, okay, and we will send a response. So res.send, and we will send a string which is called user route, okay. This is just a string, okay. And let me add a comment at the rate route, okay. This is a get route, okay. So API slash users, okay. Then I'll just add a description, test route, okay. This is a test route. Then what about the access? Access is public, okay. Then the second route is router.get, okay. Sorry, router.post. The first argument is a slash, and the second one is an arrow function. So your request response, and this is asynchronous, so async. And inside this arrow function, we need to destructure name, email, and password from request body. So const name, email, and password, and we are structuring this from request rec.body. Okay, and let me add a comment here, destructuring, so we don't have to prefix with rec.body. Okay, let me save this. Then we will use try catch block, and inside this try block I'll define a variable user, okay, with the name user. Select user, then we will use await, and then we need to find the user by its email. So user.find1, and we are going to use the email to find the user. So email, okay, save this. Then if the user exists, okay, if the user exists, then we will return response.status, that is going to be 400, and we need a JSON format, so .json, and this is the error, okay, and here we will take an array, and inside we can take an object, so message, that is going to be user already exists. Okay, let's save this. Then if the user does not exist, then we need to create the user. So user equals to new user, okay, and we need name, email, and password. And then we will create a salt using a function called bcrypt.gensalt. Okay, so here I'll take a variable const salt equals to await, and the function is bcrypt.gensalt. Okay, save this. Then we will create the user password. So user.password equals to await, and we need to hash the password. So bcrypt.hash, this is the function to hash the password. So the first argument is password, and second one is salt. Okay, save this. Then we need to save the user. So await user.save. Okay, let's save this. Then if everything works fine, then we will have a response. So this dot JSON, this will be in JSON format. So this dot JSON, and the response will be request dot body. Okay, rec dot body, which will be in JSON format. And if there is an error, then we can console log error dot message. We can have a response of status. So response rest dot status, and which is going to be 500 dot send server error. Okay, let me save this, and lastly we will export the module. So module dot export equals to router. Okay, let's save this, and let me add a comment here as well. So route, that is post, okay, API users, then we have a description that is going to be registered user, okay, and access, that is again going to be public. Let's save this, and now inside the server.js we need to initialize the middleware. Okay, so after connect to database, I'll add a comment initialize middleware, and here we need to write app.use. Okay, to initialize we need to add this line. So app.use express.json, and the property for extended will be false. Okay, save this. So before this we need to install body parser, but now we don't have to do it. So let's add a comment here. So we used to have to install body parser, but now it is a built-in middleware. Okay, and function of express. Okay, this is a function of express, and it parses incoming JSON payload. Okay, let's save this. And now this is a test route. Okay, this was just a test route. So let's remove this. This is not required. And now we need to say app.use, and here we need to write /API. So API users, and then a comma, and require, and dot /routes/API/users. Okay. So this is how I'll tell my app what route file to use for my API users, and I'll specify routes API users. Okay, let's save this. Now we can test this route. Okay, so we can just test this. So let's go to Postman, and let me add a new one. And here I'll write HTTP localhost colon 5000 API, and instead of auth, I'll be using users. And this is a post request. Okay, so as you can see, this is a post request. And then we need to click on headers, and here content type will be application/JSON. Okay, and then we need to click on body raw, and here we need to select JSON, and here I'll take an object. The first one is name. I'll just add Samir. Okay, and second one is email. That is going to be Tech Academy 2019 @gmail.com, and the third one is password, and the password is 123. Okay, let's test this. So I'll click on send. So we are getting some error, could not send request. So let's go to VS Code, and here I think there is some mistake. So here it is required. Okay, let me save this. This was just a typo error, and let's go back and let's try it again. So if I click on send, okay, still we are getting some problem. Let's go back and let me see the user. Okay, here says module not found, routes API user.js, cannot find module. Okay, spelling error. Okay, so where it is. Okay, decrypt. Okay, let's close this, and now I think it should work. So click on send. Okay, so we are getting a response. Okay, so as you can see that the request.body is in JSON format. The reason behind this is, so let's go to Visual Studio Code, and if I go to users.js, so here as you can see response, so res.json. Okay, so we say that request.body should be in JSON format. So response should be in JSON format, and the response will be request.body. Okay, and here we can use JSON because in server.js we have initialize express.json. Okay, so we have used this middleware, so this is why we can have JSON format. Okay, so this is something which I wanted to explain you. And then now let's try that what if the user is already exist. Okay, so let's go to Postman, and if I click on send again, so we will get an error which says user already exists. Okay, but there is no validation. Okay, let's say if I change this email to a string, okay, a normal string, which is let's say if I say not a valid email. Okay, so this is not an email ID, this is just a string. So if I click on send, so now this user has been added. Okay, which is having invalid email. So this is not correct. There should be some validation which says that this is an invalid email. Okay, so let's go to MongoDB and let's check the collection. Okay, so if I go to collection, So as you can see, we have two collections. So first one is this Samir, and which is having an email ID of Tech Academy 2019 at Gmail. And the second one is also been added, which is having a wrong email ID, okay, which is not having an email ID, which is having only a string. So this is not the correct way of adding a user. So the user should have a proper email ID. Okay, so this we will see in the next video. But for now, let's delete both the users. Okay, and let's delete this also. Okay, so both the users have been deleted, and we will see how to validate this in the next video. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will validate request body. So inside user.js route file, we need to pull check and validation result from express validator. Okay, so here I will add const, and we need to pull check and validation result, that is going to be require express validator. Okay, let me save this. And now in our router.post, our second argument will be array of checks based on the express validator. Okay, so I'll just add an enter. Okay, so here I will use an array. Okay, and the first check will be for name, so check name, and the error message will be name is required, and the method for this is dot not, and dot is empty. Okay, so this was the check for name. So if name is not there, so it will give an error message that name is required. Okay, now let's add a comma, and then we have second check for email, so email, and the message is valid email is valid email address is required. Okay, and the method for this is email. Okay, now the third check is for password, and the error message will be password must have at least 4 characters. Okay, and the method is length. Okay, and it should be minimum 4. Okay, let me save this, and here I will add a comma. Let's save this. Okay, now it is looking fine. Okay, so this was a check for name, this was a check for email, this was a check for password, and the error messages are for name, it is name is required. For email, it is valid email address is required. For password, the error message is password must have at least 4 characters. Okay, and the methods are this one. So name should not be empty, and email, the method is email. For password, it should be is length, and the length should be minimum 4 character. Okay, and now in the callback, here we need to create a constant. Okay, const error, and we need to set this to validation result, and here we need to pass request rec. And after this, I will add a condition that if the error is not empty, okay, so error is empty. If error is not empty, it means it has something, means that there was an error. Okay, so we will return a response.status of 400, which is a bed request, and we need a JSON format of error, so JSON.json, and here I'll add errors. Okay, that is going to be error.array. Okay, we need to use this function errors.array. Now let's check this in the Postman. Okay, so once I go in the Postman, so before this I was using this invalid email, so now the password should be at least 4 characters. So let me add 1 2 3 4. So name is there, email is invalid, and the password is this. So let's see we are getting error or not. Okay, so let me click on send. So now we are getting a response with array of errors. Okay, So message is invalid value, params is valid email address is required. Okay, so this was the error message, and location is body. Let me check. Okay, so yes, we are getting error. Now let's check the second error, like if we don't have the name. Okay, so let me remove the name. Okay, and let's check this. So now we will have two errors. Okay, let's click on send. So now we are having two errors. So the message is name is required. Okay, because we have removed the name, so it is giving a error message, name is required. And for email we already checked. And what if the password is less than 4 character? So I'll do 123, and let's click on send. So now we are getting three errors. Okay, so value is 123, message is password must have at least 4 characters. Okay, so this is looking fine, but here something is okay. Well, let me see the file. Okay, so here I have missed. Okay, let me just remove this, and let's add a double quotes. Now I think it will work fine. Here also I think it should be double quotes. Okay, now it is perfectly correct. Now let me do send again. Okay, now the message is correct, valid email is required. Now everything is fine. Okay, so now let's add all the correct values. Okay, so the first one is name, and here I'll add a name. So okay, so email I'll keep Tech Academy 2019. Okay, and password I'll just keep it 1234. All these are valid values. Let's try it. If I click on send, okay, valid email address is required. So let's go back to the file. Okay, here the E should be small. Okay, let me save this, go back, and now let's try it again. So if I send, now I'm getting the response. Okay, with the status of 200. So this is fine. So this is it. We have successfully validated the response which we are getting from request.body using Express Validator. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will configure JSON Web Token authentication. So inside user.js route file, we need to pull JWT from JSON Web Token and config from config. Okay, so let's do it. So here I'll write const JWT equals to require JSON Web Token. Okay, and then we require config. So const config equals to require config. Okay, let's save this. Now we need to set up the payload. So let's scroll down, and once we save the user, okay, let's remove this line. We don't require this. And here I'll just take a variable, okay, const payload, that is equal to, okay, an object, and that object will be user, and user object will have ID, which is going to be user.id. Okay, let's save this. So this is a user object with a user ID. The reason we can use user.id and not user._id is because we are using Mongoose, and Mongoose abstract the underscore ID away from us. So that's our payload. That's the user ID. Okay. So let's add some comment here. Sign in, sign the token. Okay, we need to sign the token, pass in payload, pass in secret, and expiration date, which is going to be optional. Then we need one more comment inside the callback. Okay, we will add a callback, which will be an arrow function. So first let me add the comment. So if we don't get an error, we send back the token. Okay, so we need to add a callback. So now we need to use jwt.sign. So basically we are going to sign the token, passing the payload, passing the secret, and optional expiration time. Okay, so here I'll do jwt.sign. Okay, and we are going to pass the payload. Then we need the JWT secret. Okay, so first let me do config.get. Okay, we need to create this JWT secret. So for that we need to go to default.json, and here after this we will say JWT secret, that is equal to secret token. Okay, let's save this and let's close this. So this is what we wanted. Okay, so config.get JWT secret, and then we need expiration date. So time, so expiration, sorry, expire in, and here we need to add the time. Okay, so let's save this. Then what else we need? We need a callback function. So here I'll add a comma and I'll add an arrow function, and here I'll pass the argument which is going to be error and token. So here inside this arrow function I'll do a condition. So if error, okay, if we got an error, so just throw the error, and if everything goes fine, then response.json, and we will send the token back. Okay, let's save this. Okay, so now let's try it out. So let's go to the browser. First, let's delete this user. Okay, so let me delete the user. Now let's go to Postman, and okay, so this has already been here. So name, submit, email, techacademy2019@gmail.com. Password is 1234. So everything is fine. So as you can know, this is a post request, and the URL should be localhost 5000 API users. Let's click on send. So now we got a token back. Okay, well, let's copy this token, and we need to go to the browser, and here I'll go to a website which is JWT.io. Okay, and if I scroll down, so here we can paste the code which I have copied. So let's paste it. So here, as you can see, we have a payload data and we got the user ID. Okay, so we have successfully configured JWT authentication. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will create and use middleware. The middleware that we are going to create is authentication middleware. So inside root folder, I will create a new folder and name it as middleware. And inside this folder, I will create a new file and name it as auth.js. Okay, so this is our middleware file. Now inside API folder, I will create a new file and name it as auth.js. So this is the route file. Okay, let's close this. Right now we don't require this. Okay, so now inside this middleware file, we need to pull JWT and config. So let's do it. So const JWT equals to require JWT, sorry, JSON Web Token, and then we require config equals to require config. Now we need to export middleware function. So here I'll write module.exports equals to function, and it has access to request, response, and next. And inside this function, we need to extract token from rec.header, and the name of the token value is x-auth-token. So let's do it. Const token. Okay, this is a variable, and now we are extracting it from rec.header, and the value is x-auth-token. Okay, let's save this. Now let's add a condition. If not token, so if there is no token, we need to return a response with a status of 401 and a message of not authorized. Okay, so let's do it. So if there is no token, then return response with a status of 401 and a message in JSON format which says message not authorized. Okay, and let's add a comment here. So check for token status 401, that is not authorized. Okay, let's save this. Now we need to validate tokens. So validate token. Okay, so for that we need to use try catch block. So if the token exists and if it is valid, then it is decoded by JWT verify. So let's take a const with and the name of the variable is decoded. Okay, so if the token exists and if it is valid, then it is decoded by JWT verify. So JWT verify, and here we need to pass token, and we also need config.get JWT secret. Okay, so here we are getting some error. Okay, so this should be in double quotes, okay, or maybe single quotes. Then after decoded, we need to set rec.user. Okay, we need to set rec.user equals to decoded.user. Okay, let's save this, and then we need to call next. And in the catch block, if the token is not valid, we will send a token invalid message and set the status to not authorized. Okay, so here we will do res.status. Okay, if the token is not valid, then we will set the status to not authorized, which is 401, and we need to send a message in JSON format. So message that is going to be invalid. Okay, invalid token. Let me save this. So the middleware part is done. So let's close this file. Now we have created route file in API folder. So let's open auth.js. So in this auth.js, we need to pull some packages. Okay, so let's do it. So const express equals to require express. Then we need router. So const router equals to express dot router. Then we require the auth middleware file. So const auth equals to require dot slash middleware slash auth. Okay, then we require bcrypt. So bcrypt equals to require bcrypt js. Okay, then we require JWT. So const JWT equals to require JSON Web Token. Then we require config. So config equals to require config. Then we need to extract check and validation results from express validator. So const check and validation result equals to require express validator. So these are the packages that we require. Now let's create the first route. So I will add some comments. So route, this is a get request API slash auth. Okay, then we need description. This is a test route. Then access will be public. Okay, let me close this. Okay, so we'll get a space. Now here I'll do router.get. Okay, and the first argument is a slash, and the second one is the middleware auth. Okay, so auth, then we need an arrow function, and this will be async. So okay, and inside we need to pass, we have an access of rec and response. Here I'll be using try catch block. So we need to check the user. So const user. Okay, we need to find the user. So await user dot. We will find the user by its ID. So find by ID rec dot user dot ID. Okay, so we are checking if the ID which is in database and which we have passed is same or not, and we have to exclude password. So for that we need to write select minus password. Okay, and if everything is fine, then we need a response which is in JSON format of user information. Okay, and if we don't find the user, then we can just console log error dot message. Okay, here we can do console error, and we can set the status to 500, which is a server error. So 500 dot send server error. Let's save this. Now we will create the post route. Okay, so let me add a comment. So route So this is a post route API/auth description authenticate user and get token access will be public. Okay, now here we need to write router.post. First argument is a slash. The second one will be an array because we need to validate the user. Okay, so let me put an enter, and here I'll do check email. Okay, we need to check the email if it is valid or not. So if it is not valid, then valid email address is required, and the method is email. Okay, then we need to check the password. So password, if the password is not valid, then password is required. Okay, and the method is dot exists. Let me save this. Then after this array, I'll add a comma, and then we need an arrow function. Okay, so let's do an arrow function request response, and this will be an async. So async, and here we will check the error. So const errors equals to validation result, and we need to pass rec. Okay, so if there is an error, means if not errors dot is empty, it means it is not empty, it means that there is some error. Okay, then we need to return with a response of status 400 and with a message in JSON format errors, that is going to be errors dot array. Okay, array of errors. So let's save this. Then we need to extract email and password from rec body. So const email and password equals to rec dot body. Let's save this. Then I'm going to use try catch block, and here we need to find the user. So let user equals to await user dot find one, and we need to find by the email. Okay, and if the user exists, okay, so if the user does not exist, okay, if there is no user, then we need to return with a response of status 400 and with a message in JSON format errors message invalid credential. Okay, let's save this. Now we need to compare the passwords. So const is match. Okay, let's take a variable and bcrypt dot compare, and compare returns a promise. So we need await. So here I'll do await, and let's add a comment as well. So compare returns a promise, so await. Okay, so dot compare password user dot password. So we are comparing the password which is in the database with the password which we have provided. Okay, so if the password does not match, okay, if not match, then we need to return with a response of status 400 and with a message in JSON format errors message invalid credential. Okay, then we need a payload. So const payload, that is going to be an object which is having a user object. Okay, so here we need ID, that is going to be user.id, and then we are going to use JWT sign in, and we need to pass payload and JWT secret. So here I'll do JWT.sign. Okay, we need to sign the token. So here we need to pass payload, then we need config dot get JWT secret, then we need to add expire date. Okay, so expiration date, so expires in, and here I'll put a big number. Okay, so this is optional, but I'm putting it. Then we need a callback function, and we need to pass error and token. So if there is an error, so just throw error, and if not, then we'll be sending a response with a token. Okay, so token, and in the catch block, okay, if there is an error, so console log error dot message, and we can set the status of 500. So this dot status 500 dot send server error. Okay, let's save this, and then we need to export the module. So module dot exports equals to router. Let's save this, and now in server.js we need to tell the app which route file to use for API route. Okay, so here, or maybe here we can do it. So app.use slash API slash auth, and here we need to write require dot slash routes slash API slash auth. Okay, let's save this. Now we can test this in Postman. So let's go to Postman. Let me close this one, and let's add a new one. So this is a post request. Okay, so post and http colon 5000 slash API slash auth, and in the header I'll do content type, and the value will be application JSON. Okay, and body raw, this is JSON, and here we need to pass the email. Okay, so email, that is going to be tech academy 2019 at gmail.com, and password is going to be 1234. Okay, so let's click on send. Okay, we are getting some error. Let's go to VS Code. Let's check what is the error. Okay, so this is not running. So npm run server. Okay, now the server has started. So let's try it again. Okay, we got the token. Let's copy this token and just click on this plus sign, and this is a get request. Okay, and here I'll do http colon 5000 slash API slash auth, and in the header we have the value x hyphen auth hyphen token. Okay, and the value is the token. So paste the token which you have copied, and then click on send. So it will respond with the user object. So let's see. I think there is some error. Okay, let's see. Unhandled promise rejection warning. Reference error. Error is not defined. So this is let's see where it is. Here it is, line number, error is not defined. So here it is, line number 18. Here I have written error, and here I have done error. So let me copy and paste it. Okay, let's save this. So it was a, I think, typo error. So MongoDB is connected successfully. Let's try it again and click on send. Okay, here we are getting a server error. Let's see what is the error. Password is not defined. Password is not defined. Okay, let's try it again. Let's copy this. Okay, let me close this. Let's do it again. So this will be a post request. HTTP auth key is, sorry, in the header we need to write content type, which is application JSON. Okay, and in the body raw, this is a JSON format. Paste it here. Let's click on send. Okay, we got the token. Copy this. Click on plus. This is a get request auth, and in the header we have x hyphen auth hyphen token, and the value is the code which we have copied. Click on send. Okay, we are getting server error. Again, password is not defined. Let me check. Let me pause the video and I'll check. Okay, so I found the error. Okay, so here this password on line number 15 should be in double quotes. Okay, let me save this and let's try it again. So now MongoDB is connected. Let's go to Postman and now let's click on send. Okay, so it responded with the user object. Okay, so here as you can see the ID, and we got the name and we got the email ID as well. So we have successfully created and used auth middleware. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will work with Jest to create unit test. When I originally installed Jest, I installed it as a regular dependency. Now this is all fine and it will still work. But in reality, any dependency that's not used during runtime should be a development dependency. So let's first fix that. So inside package.json, we can see Jest as a regular dependency. So let's first uninstall this. So we need to open the terminal. So control and backtick key. Let me clear this. Now to uninstall this, I'll type npm uninstall Jest. Okay. Let me make it small. So now as you can see, here it is Jest. Now hit enter. Now as you can see, it's gone as a regular dependency. Now let's install it as a development dependency. Okay. So let me first clear this. And here I'll type npm install, I is for install, space -d. Okay. It's for development dependency, and I'll type Jest. And there is one more dependency that we are going to need is cross -env. And now we can hit enter. Now both the dependencies are installed as a development dependency. Okay, so this is Jest and this is cross env. Let me clear this terminal. Now inside my root directory, okay, here inside my root directory, I'll create a new folder, okay, and name it as tests. And inside this folder, I'll create a new file and name it as auth.test.js. Okay, hit enter. Now inside package.json, we need to create a script to run the test. Okay, so let me close this and let me close this as well. So we'll get a space. So here I'll create a script. Okay, so comma, and then we can write test. That is going to be Jest. So if we run this test will work, but we will see a couple of console error. So this will not affect the test, but it can be annoying. So that's why I have installed cross-env. So we need to use cross-env inside the script. Okay. So before Jest, I'll type cross-env space node underscore env equals to development. Okay. Let me save this file. Now let's go back to test file. Okay. First, we need to pull the auth middleware, the file that we are going to test. So this should be brought in as a function. So that's going to be the first test. So here I need to type const auth equals to require dot dot slash and then middleware slash auth. Okay. Let me save this. Then we need a describe block. So here I'll type describe, and the first argument will be auth, which is the name of our function. And the second argument is the function that will contain all our specific tests. So it will be having two tests, and it will start with the keyword it. So I'll type it, and it is an alias for test. These are called test blocks. Okay. And this all takes two arguments. The first argument for the test or it block is a string that will describe specific tests. So I'll write should exist. Okay. So this clearly tells us what we are going to do. Then we need to define the function. Okay. So the second argument is a function which needs to be run. Okay. And this includes expectations. So we can say expect, and inside this we need to write auth. Okay. So it will expect auth to be defined. Okay. So here I'll type to be defined. Let me save this. It means it should exist. Okay. Then we need another block. So it, and here the specification will be should be a function. Okay. Should be a function. And we can, the second argument is a function, and it will expect type of auth to be function. Okay. It should be a function. Let me save this. So the first test means that it should exist. This function should exist. Okay. This auth function should exist. And the second test says that it should be a function. Okay. So now we can test this. Okay. We can run the test. So let's open the terminal. So control and backtick key. And here I will write npm run test. Okay. And hit enter. Okay. So we are getting some error. Cross env node. Let me go to package.json. Let's see what is the error. Let me remove the space. Maybe I don't know. Let's save this and let's try it again. So let me clear this and npm run test. Okay, now, okay, it's failed. Okay, so here test suite 1 failed. So let's go up and see why it is failing. Okay, so here there is some issue. So here it says it must be name class, name function, number or string. So in line number 3 has some problem. So in auth.test.js, this should be a string. Okay, let me save this and everything is fine. So there is no need of like, if you keep it like this also, it will be, it is fine. So let's run it again. So let me clear this, then npm run test. Okay, now, okay, I think we need to keep it like this only, no space. Now let's try. So clear, sorry. Here I'll just clear the terminal and let's do npm run test again. Okay, so here it says, so here make sure that there is no space in between equal to. Okay. So here it says test suite 1 passed. Okay, and there are 2 tests which passed. So both the tests passed. So that's working with Jest. So all is fine. Now everything is working fine. So that's working with Jest to create unit tests. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Then take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will prepare the front-end dependencies for our MERN application. So to get started, the first thing we will do is we will use npx create react app to install our client front-end. Okay, so let's open the terminal by pressing Ctrl and backtick key. So in the root directory, okay, so this is our root directory. We need to type npx create -react -app space client. Okay, and press enter. So it will take some time to install. Okay, so this client folder has been created in the root directory of our project. So let's go inside this client folder, and here I'll open package.json. So as you can see, all these dependencies are being installed. Okay, so here let me clear the terminal. Now we need to go inside the client folder. So cd client, and now we are inside the client folder. Now we can install the front-end dependency. So npm I means install. Okay, and the first one is Axios. So Axios allows us to make HTTP request from our React app. Okay, and next is React router -DOM. Okay, so this provides the DOM binding for the React router. Okay, then we have Redux. So Redux is a state container for JavaScript apps, and then we have React Redux. Okay, React-Redux. So React Redux is React binding for Redux, and then we have Redux-Thunk. So this is the middleware. However, with plain vanilla Redux store, you can only do simple synchronous updates by dispatching an action. Okay, so this middleware extends the store capabilities and allows us to write asynchronous logic that interact with the store. For example, we can make asynchronous request with our actions. Okay, and then we have Redux hyphen DevTools hyphen extensions. Okay, only extension. So these are Redux dev tools for debugging the application state changes, and this extension just make it easier. Okay, now let's hit enter. Let me close this file. Okay, we don't require this package.json. Okay, okay, let's open it again. Okay, I want to show you that all the dependencies are being installed. So now, as you can see, all these dependencies like Axios, React, Redux, React, Router DOM, all this are been installed. Okay, so now let's close this file and let's clear the terminal. Now let's go inside the package.json file, which is in the root directory. Okay, let me make it small. Here we need to create some scripts. So first in the server script, we need to add server. Okay, after nodemon. So here I will add server just to make it clear what I'm doing. Okay, now the another script which we need to create is client, and here we need to write npm start. It means the client will start, and we need to use -- prefix space client because I want to run from the client directory. Okay, and then the another script is dev. So here I'll be using concurrently. So concurrently, this will help us to run both the server and the client at the same time. And we need to escape the inner double quotes. Okay, so here I will write slash, then double quotes, npm run server, then again a slash. Okay, then here we need to add a slash, double quotes, npm run client. Okay, and a slash, double quotes, double quotes. Okay, and then a comma. So this is the way we need to write it. Let's save this file. Now inside the client folder, let's open the package.json file, and at the bottom we need to add a proxy. Okay, so here add a comma, then here inside the double quotes we need to write proxy. Okay, that is going to be http colon front slash localhost colon 5000. Okay, let's save this. So this way, whenever I use Axios routes like axios.get, I don't have to type http colon // localhost colon 5000 every time. Just type API/user. Okay, now inside the terminal, let's go back to the root directory. So cd .. enter. Okay, cd space dot dot. So now we are inside the root directory. Okay, let's clear this terminal. Okay, now let's try to run npm run dev and hit enter. So the client started and even the server has started. Server started on port 5000. So let's go to the browser, and here let's do localhost 3000. So our React app is being started. So this is our front end and this is our backend. Okay. So localhost 5000 is the backend server and localhost 3000 is the front end server. And one more thing, I have added React developer tools and Redux dev tool in the Chrome extension. Okay. So I have already installed it. So what you can do is you can just type React developer tools and you can see here is the first link. So here right now it is showing me remove from Chrome because I've already installed it in my Chrome browser. So maybe in your machine it will say install. So you just need to install this and even this one, Redux Dev Tool. So both this tools are very handy for debugging our React Redux app. So we have successfully prepared the client-side front-end dependencies for our MERN application. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will create home page and nav components. But before that, we will do some cleanup. We will delete some files which are not required. So let's go inside client folder, okay? And inside client folder, we need to go inside src folder. And here are some files which are not required. So first I'll delete logo.svg. And inside index.js, let's remove this strict mode, okay? Let me save this. Then let's remove report web vitals, okay? So let me remove this from here. Let's save this. Then I'll remove app.css. So let's delete this file. So here there is no app.css. Now let's go inside app.js, okay? App.js, and here there is logo svg. Let's remove this. There is app.css, which is the file which we have deleted. Then let's delete this header, okay? Let's remove this class. Okay, and here I will write something, okay? So let me write app file, okay? Save this, and now let's start the server, okay? So let me clear this terminal, and here I'll type npm run dev, okay? Hit enter. Okay, here as you can see app file, okay? So we have almost cleaned up everything. Let's keep this index.css, but I'll be using Tailwind CSS, so that we will do in coming up lectures. But right now I'm just keeping the index.css, okay? So now let's create both the files which are homepage and nav component. So let me close everything. And inside the src folder, I will create a new folder, okay, and name it as components. And inside components folder, I will create a new folder. So let me create a new folder and name it as layout, okay. And inside the layout folder, I'll create a new file and name it as home.js and hit enter. And here I'll do RAFCE and press tab, okay. So this is the shortcut. If you want to use this shortcut, you need to install this extension. So if you click here on this extension icon, so let me tell you what is the extension. So there are a lot of extensions which I'm using. So let me show you which one it is. Okay, here it is. ES7 plus React Redux React Native snippets. Okay, so you need to install this. So once you install this extension, then you can use the shortcuts. So there are a lot of shortcuts. Let me close this. So there are a lot of snippets which you can use. I'm just looking into the shortcuts where I can find. So if you click on the snippets, so as you can see, here there are the prefix is here and the method is written here. So we were using RAFCE, so RAFCE. So now as you can see, once you type RAFCE, you will get this code. Okay. Then if you do RAFC, then you will get this code. So these are all the shortcuts. Okay, we can just go through this. Let me close this. Okay, now let's go back and let's close this. So this is the home page. Okay, let me come here. Okay, let me close this as well. So let me save this file. So inside the home page, we will add all the HTML, and styling we will be using Tailwind CSS. Styling we will do in the coming up lectures. In this lecture we will only complete the HTML. So this div I need a section. So instead of this div I will write section. Let me copy this, paste it here. Okay, so now this is a section, and inside the section I will take a div. Okay, and inside this div I'll take one more div, and now I'll take an h1 tag, and here I will type professional development. Okay, then after this h1 tag I'll take a p tag, and here I'll type learn more, earn more. Okay, let me save this. Then after the p tag I'll take one more div, and inside this div I'll take an a tag. Okay, right now I'm using only a tag, but in the next lecture I'll be using link tag that I'll show you. Okay, so if right now just type this, so HTML register.html, and the text will be registered. Okay, then I need one more a tag, so let's duplicate this. So Option Shift and down arrow key if you are using Mac, and if you are using Windows, then Alt Shift and down arrow key. Okay, so this is the shortcut to create a duplicate line. So this is login, and here I'll type login. Okay, let me save this. So home page HTML is done. Now we will create one more file, and so inside layout folder I'll create one more file and name it as navbar.js. Okay, here also I'll do RAFCE, press tab. Now we will complete the HTML for this navbar as well. So let me close this, and instead of this div I'll take nav. Okay, now inside this nav I'll take h1 tag, and inside this h1 tag I'll take a tag, and I link this to index.html. Okay, this is MERN auth. Okay, then after this h1 tag I'll take ul, then inside I'll take li, and inside the li I'll take a tag, and here I'll type register.html. Okay, let's close this, and here I'll type register, and I need one more li, so just duplicate this, and then this is login. Okay, login. Let me save this. So this navbar is also completed. Let's open this, and now inside the app.js, okay, we will import both the components that we have created. So here inside this div, let's import first navbar. So once I click on this navbar, this is auto imported. Okay, so let me close this. So as you can see, this is the path which is required. Okay, so this is auto imported. Then we need home, sorry, let's auto import the path. So home, and if I click this, you can see it is automatically imported. If I save this, this is done. Now, if I go on the browser, and if you can see here, okay, so this is what it is looking right now. Once we do the styling, it will change. So if I click on register, it will take me to register.html, and if I click on login, it will take me to login.html. Same way here also, if I click on register, it will take me to register. If I click on login, it will take me to login. But still, this is just a boilerplate. We will complete the styling in next video, and after that we will do the routing. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will configure React Router. So first, let's create login and register component. So inside components folder, I'll create a new folder and name it as auth. And inside auth folder, I'll create a new file and name it as login.js. And here I'll do RAFCE and press tab. One second, RAFCE, press tab. Okay, let's keep this login. Okay, and then let's create one more file and name it as register.js. Okay, there was some issue with the name, so let me rename it .js. Okay, and here I'll do RAFCE and press tab. Okay, let's keep this as register. Okay, now let's close both the files. Now inside app.js, okay, so this is the app.js file. Here I will import both the components. So let's do it in a shortcut way. So here I'll write register, and if I click here, it should get auto import. Okay, there is some problem, so let's do it again. So register, hit enter. Sometimes this auto import doesn't work. Okay, so we will import manually. Let's do login also. So here let's import register from slash components slash auth slash register. Save this. Then we need login. So login, and here also I'll do login. Okay, we save this. Now we need to import browser router route and routes from React Router DOM. So let's do it. So at the top I'll do import curly braces browser router as router. Here I'll do route, then routes. Okay, from React Router DOM. Okay, let me save this. Now I will wrap the entire div inside router. Okay, so router, let's close this, cut this, and here I'll paste it. Okay, let's save this. Now here after the navbar, I'll be using routes. Okay, let's cut this out and wrap this three components inside routes. Now here we will be using route. So route, and we need to define the path. So path is going to be a slash or home page, and here we need to type element that is equal to, then curly braces, and here we need to pass the component. So home. Okay, let's close this, then again close this route. Okay, and let's remove this. Then we need two more, so just duplicate, and here I'll do register, and this is register. Okay, here this is login, and this will be login. Okay, let's remove both these components from here. Let's save this. Now this routing part is completed, but inside home page, okay, let's go inside this home.js, and here I'll be using link component. So import link from React Router DOM. Okay, and instead of this a tag, we will be using link tag. Okay, so let's do a link tag, and instead of href we will be doing 2. Okay, and here we need /register. Okay, so this is the path, and for login also I'll be just do a copy paste for the name. So this is it. Let's remove this. Let me save this, and again in the navbar also we need to do the same process. So import link from React Router DOM. This is fine. Then here instead of a tag I'll be using link tag. Okay, and instead of href I'll be using 2, and this will be only a slash. Okay, done. And here also for register and login we can just copy both this. Okay, both this okay, let's paste it here first, and here we need register. Let's cut this out and paste it here. Okay, so this is done. Now let's go to the browser and check it. It will compile with a problem. There is some problem with the okay, here we need dot slash. Let's try it in the browser. So as you can see, we have this register. So if I click on this register, you will go to the register page. If I click on login, you'll be going to login page. If I click on the home page, this is the home page. So here, as you can see, we have this register. Okay. Again, let me go to home page, click on login. So you'll be redirected to login page. So routing is done. Okay. So we have successfully done the routing for our pages. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will configure registration and login form. So let's first finish registration form. So inside register.js, we need to pull in use state. Okay, so here I'll just add a comma, then curly braces and use state. Okay, let me save this file. Let me close this, so we will get a space. So use state is a special type of function called a hook. It allows us to hook into React features. Use state specifically is a hook that allows us to add React state to functional component. Prior to hook, if you write a functional component and later you need to add state to it, then we have to convert it into class. But now we can just use a hook inside the functional component. Now I also need link component. Okay, so here I will do import link from React Router DOM. Let me save this file. Now we need to use state hook. Okay, so here inside this function, I will write const, and then we need an array, and here we need to define the variable. So form data, this is the variable where all the data of the form will be stored, and we need a setter function. So here we need to write update. So this setter function helps us to change the state. Okay, update form data, that is equal to use state, and we need to initialize all the values of the form. Here, one thing I want to tell you about this setter function, that you can also name it as set form data, but I'll keep it as update form data. Sorry, form data. Okay, not date. So now here we will add the value. So name, initial value of name will be empty string. Okay, then we have email, initial value will be empty, password will again be empty, then we have confirm password. So confirm password. Okay, let me save this. Now after this we will destructure name, email, password and confirm password from form data. So const, and here I'll write name, email, password, confirm password, that is equal to form data. Okay, let's save this. Now I need on-chain handler, so let me add a comment here. Okay, so here I'll write on change handler configured to handle change for all fields. Okay, let me save this, and here let's take a const on change, that is equal to an arrow function. Okay, and here I write we need to pass event. Okay, and here we need to write the name of the function. So update form data, and this we need to put it into round brackets. Okay, and here we need spread operator. Okay, so dot dot dot, and we need form data. So we need all the fields. Okay, initially we will take all the fields, then we will then we can take the target name values. So I'll hit enter, and here I'll write e dot target dot name. That is going to be e dot target dot value. Okay, let's save this. Here I need a comma. Okay, the spelling is incorrect. So form data, let me copy this and I'll paste it here. Let's save this. Now what else we need? We need on submit handler. So let's add a comment on submit handler, and here we need to take a const on submit equals to an arrow function, and we need to pass an event here. So here I'll do e dot prevent value, sorry, prevent default. Okay, then here we need to pass a condition that if password is not equal to, okay, if this is not equal to confirm password, then we need to console log password must match. Okay, else we will console.log, sorry, we'll console.log form data. Okay, so all the fields in the form data will console. Let's save this, and here I like password. Okay, there was a typo error. Let me save this. Now we will add the HTML of the form. Okay, so here let me remove this, and inside the div I'll take an h1 tag, and here I'll write register. Then we need a p tag, and here I'll say specify your account info. Okay, then we need form tag, so form, and here I'll add a on submit which we have created. So on submit, that is equal to e, this is an event, and we need an arrow function. So on submit, and we need to pass the event. Okay, and let's close this form tag. And now inside this form I'll take a div. Okay, styling we will do later, but first let's finish the HTML part. So input type will be text placeholder, that is going to be name. Okay, then we need name, that is equal to name. Then we need value, that is equal to name, that is, this is coming from here. Okay, name. Okay, this is coming from here. So here, okay, from here it is coming. Value is name. Then what else we need? We need on change method. So on change, that is equal to, and again we need an arrow function. So e, and then an arrow function. So on change, and we need to pass the event. Okay, we need to close this input, and here I'll type required. Okay, this is something HTML5. So save this. This is done. Now we need for email. So let me copy this div, and I'll just change the entire thing. So type will be email, placeholder email address, then name will be email, value will be email, and then again on chain will be same. Okay, so this is fine. Now we need for password. So let me copy this div, paste it. Type will be password, placeholder will be password. So password, name will be password, value is password, on change is same. Okay, but here I think instead of required, we need minimum length, that is equal to 4. Okay, let's save this. Then again, let's copy this div, paste it. We need for confirm password. So type will be password, confirm password, and name will be confirm password, value confirm password. Okay, this will be same, and this will be same. And then after this div, I'll take one more input. So input type will be submit, value will be register. Let's close this input. Then what else we need? We need a p tag, and here I'll say that already have an account. If you already have an account, then just go back to login page. So link to /login. Okay, let's close this, and here I'll type log in. Okay, save this. So the registration page form is done. So let's see here. Okay, so register. If I click on register, you can see we can just type it because of that on change method. Okay, so this registration page form is done. Now we will complete the login page. So if I click on login, so as you can see, there is no form, so we'll finish that. So let's open login form. It is almost same. Okay, few things are here and there. So first we need use state. Okay, then we need link component. So import link from React router DOM. Okay, then inside this function we'll take const and then an array, and here we again need form data and update form data equals to use state, and here we will add the fields. Here we only need email and password. So email, that is going to be empty string. Then we need password, we need again empty string. Let's save this. Again we need to destructure it. So const email password equals to form data. Okay, let's save this. Then we need on change. So here I'll add a comment on change. Let's copy the same thing. Okay, it is same. So yeah, let me copy this, paste it here. So const on change equals to an arrow function. So here I'll pass event, and here we need to use spread operator. So dot form data. Then we need the value from name. So e dot target dot name, that is equal to e dot target dot value. Let's save this. Then we need on submit. So const on submit equals to an arrow function. I need to pass the event. So here I'll do event dot event default. Okay, and then we can just console log and say awesome. Let's save this, and now we'll complete the HTML. So let's remove this, and here I'll take inside the div I'll take h1 tag, and I'll say login. Then we need a p tag, and here I can say log in to your account. Okay, then we need form tag. So form, and here I'll take the on submit. Okay, on submit method. So on submit, that is equal to e, and it's event, and then arrow function on submit, and we need to pass the event. Okay, let's close this form, and then inside the form I'll take a div, and then again I'll take an input with the type of email, not text. Email placeholder will be email address. Name, that is going to be email. Value, that is going to be email. Okay, then what else we require? We require on change method. So on change equals to, and here we need an arrow function. So event, and on change we need to pass the event. Okay, let's close this input, and here also I'll write required. Okay, let's save this. Then we need one more div, input for password. So password, and here I'll say password. Okay, name will be password, value will be password, and this will remain same, but here we need minimum length, that is equal to 4. Okay, let's save this. Then after this div we need input type submit. Okay, so input type, that is going to be submit, and value, that is going to be login. Okay, let's close this, save this, And after this input, I need a p tag which says not registered yet. Okay, so we are asking that if you are not registered yet, then just go to registration page. So link to, and here I'll do register, and let me type the text register. Okay, let's save this. So this is done. Now let's check it in the browser. So this is the login page. So here if I put any, oh, we can't type it. So let me see. So here we forgot to take this function. Okay, so let's save this, and now let's see if we are able to type or not. So yeah, we are able to type it. Okay, so this is done. So we have successfully completed the forms for register and login page. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will configure Redux tool. So first I will create reducer. So inside client folder, inside src folder, I'll create a new folder and name it as reducers. Okay, and inside this reducers folder, I'll create a new file and name it as index.js. index.js. So this is our root reducer. Okay, here I will import combined reducers from Redux. So let's do it. Import. Let me close this. And inside curly braces, I'll do combine reducers from Redux. Okay, and here I'll export default combined reducers. Okay, and inside this I'll pass an empty object. Let me save this. So this reducer part is done. Now I will create the store file. So let me close this, and inside src folder I'll create a new file and name it as store.js. Let me close this, and now import create store because we are creating store. So create store and apply middleware because we are using Thunk as a middleware. So we need apply middleware. So apply middleware from Redux. Okay. Then we need to import Thunk from Redux Thunk. Okay. Then we need to import compose with dev tools from Redux DevTool extension. Okay. Then we need to import the root reducer. So import root reducers. Import root reducer from /reducer. Okay. Let me save this. And then we need to create an initial state. So const initial state equals to an empty object. So we are setting initial state with an empty object. Okay. Then we need const middleware. Okay. We need to create a variable called middleware, which is equal to Thunk. Okay. Now we will create the store. So const store equals to create store, and inside this we need to pass root reducer. Then we need to pass initial state. Then we need to pass compose with DevTools, and here we will pass apply middleware as an argument. Apply middleware, and we need to pass middleware as a spread operator. So dot middleware. Okay, let's save this. Now we need to export the store. So export default store. Okay, let me save this. Now we need to go to app.js. Okay, so inside app.js, we need to import two items. The first one is provider and the second one is store. So let's do it. So this is like Redux, and here I will import provider from React Redux, and then I'll import store. Okay, so import store from /store. Let's save this, and now we need to wrap the entire router inside provider. Okay, so here before the router I will take provider, and here we need to pass the store. So store is equal to store. Okay, and now let's cut this provider, and here we need to paste it. Let's save this. So now we are able to access the store inside our application. Now let's go to the browser. Okay, first let's see the application is running or not. So it's not running. So npm run dev. Now let's open uh, Redux dev tool. So right click inspect, and here as you can see we have Redux dev tool. So just click on it. Okay, and here you can see we have all this action, state, difference. Okay, so this Redux dev tool will help us to debug, and we can even see the changes in our state using this Redux dev tool. So now we have a functional Redux store configured and ready to use in our MERN application. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will work with reducers and actions. So I will create a new folder inside src folder and name it as actions. And inside action folder, I will create a new file and name it as auth.js. And then we'll create another file and name it as types.js. In this file, I'll create action types. So export const. First one is register pass. Okay, if the registration is pass, this will be the action type. So registration reg pass. Okay, then the second one is reg fail. Okay, so these are the action type. Okay, let me save this. So this is done. Let me close this file. And now we need to go to reducer folder. Inside reducer folder, I'll create one more file and name it as auth.js. Okay, and inside this file I will import both the action types. Okay, so import reg underscore pass and reg underscore fail from dot slash actions slash types. Let me save this file. And now we need to define initial state. So here const initial state, that is equal to an object, and inside this I'll take token, and we need to set the token that we get back from our app, and we are going to store this token in local storage. So local storage dot get item, and here we need to pass the token. Okay, then we also need is authenticated, that is going to be null. Initially it will be null. Then we need loading, that is going to be true initially. Then we need user information, so that is going to be null initially. Okay, then we need a function. Okay, so export default function, and here we need to pass the state, that is equal to initial state, and the second argument is action. Okay, and here we need to destructure type and payload. So type and payload, we need to destructure it from action. Then we will create switch cases. So switch, and here we need to pass type. So first case is register, so reg pass. Okay, so this is the first case, and if it is pass, we need to set the token. Okay, so local storage dot set item, and inside will pass token, and second argument will be payload dot token. Okay, then we will return the entire state, then payload, then is authenticated will be true, then loading will be false. Okay, let me save this. Now let's continue, and we will create the second case. So case reg fail. If registration fail, we will remove anything in local storage for that token. Okay, so here we need to write local storage dot remove item, and here we need to pass the token. Okay, then we'll return the entire state, and token will be null, and is authenticated will be false, and loading will be false. Okay, let me save this. And last case, the default case will be will return the state. Okay, let's save this. So here we need semicolon. Okay, let's save this. Now inside the root reducer, okay, here we need to import the reducer that we have created. So import auth from /auth. Okay, and here we need to pass that reducer. So auth. Let me save this. And now let's close this file. This is not required. Now let's go inside auth.js, which is inside actions folder. And here we will import Axios. So import Axios from Axios. Then we need to import action types. So import reg underscore pass and reg underscore fade from /actions / types. Okay, let me save this. Now we need to create a function which is called register. So export const register. So this is the action. Okay, and inside this we'll pass name, email, and password. And here we need an arrow function, and this will be async because we will be interacting with MongoDB. So async, and we'll dispatch the action. So first we need to create a variable called config that will be an object, and here we'll pass header. So headers that is equal to content type that is equal to application/JSON. Okay, let's save this. Then after this we will create a variable called body that is equal to JSON.stringify. Okay, we need to convert this into string. So JSON.stringify, and here we need to pass name, email, and password. Okay, let's save this. Now we need try catch block. So try and catch block. So inside we'll take a variable called res. Okay, it means response, and we need to wait for the response. So Axios dot post, and here we need to pass the path. Okay, so /API/user. Okay, we'll get the user's information. Then we need body, and then we need config. Let's save this. And if everything is okay, then we can dispatch it. Okay, so we can dispatch the action. So dispatch, and inside this I'll pass type that is going to be reg underscore pass. Okay, and second one is payload that is going to be res.data. Okay, and in catch block we will define a variable called errors that is equal to error dot response dot data dot errors. Okay, and after that we'll add a condition that if errors, okay, if there is an error, then we'll show a message, we'll show an alert errors dot for each error, and here we need an arrow function alert error dot message. Okay, let's save this. Then we need to dispatch type that is going to be reg underscore fail. Okay, let's save this. Now inside components folder, inside auth folder, we have register.js. So let's open that. And here we need to import the action. Okay, so import register. Okay, so as you can see, this is the name of the action, register. So here we need to import it. So register, import register from /actions/auth. Okay, let me save this. And here we need to pass this register. Okay, so register. Inside this function, we need to pass this action. And if I scroll down here, instead of console log, we will call register. Okay, so here I will call register, and inside I'll pass name, email, and password. Okay, let me save this. And if I scroll down, at the bottom, we need to use connect. Okay, so let's first import connect. This is also required. So import connect from React Redux. Okay, and now we can scroll down. So here we need to write, after default, we need to write connect. Okay, and inside this connect will take two parameters. So first is any state which is to be mapped, and for this we have none. So I'll type null. Okay, because we don't have anything, okay, at this time. And second is an object with any action that is going to be used, and for us we have only one action, that is register. This will allow the app to access prop.register. Okay, and here we need to uh, take this in a round brackets. Okay, let me save this file. Now everything is fine. Now there is one more thing which I wanted to fix. So what's that? Okay, here there is something. Okay, there was a typo. Error is not defined. Okay, so here I need to pass error. Okay, so there was a mistake in actions or .js. So please make sure to rectify it. And there was one more thing which I wanted to show you. Let me see 1 second. Index is also fine. Actions we have created inside. I think the reducers, there was a problem. Yeah, not this one. This is fine. And there is some unexpected default export of anonymous. This is giving some, not, this is not an error, but I don't know why this is coming. Okay, let's ignore this. Then what else I wanted to show you? Inside the store.js, okay, here it says that we recommend use configure storage. Okay, so let's see what is the problem with this. So it is deprecated. So if I click here, there was some solution to it. So they say that you can use import configure store. So let's copy this because if this is not working, then I think there will be a problem. So let's fix that, and I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. Okay, save this and remove this from here. Okay, now this is fine. And now let's see this in action. So let's see everything is working. Okay, server started on port 5000, MongoDB connected. Let's go to browser. Okay, here, okay, there was a problem inside the store. Okay, can't resolve Redux toolkit. I don't know. Let me undo it. Even I was confused why now it is not giving any problem. So let's see. Let's go to register. Okay, now let's try to register, and let's open the Redux tab tool. So inspect Redux. Okay, so here we can see right now the state, which is null, authenticate as null, loading through, user null. Okay, let's try to register. So this was the name. So Samir, then we have Tech Academy 2019 at Gmail. Password is 1234 1234. Let's click on register. So now it says user already exists. Yes, that's true, because if I go to MongoDB and if you go to collection, this user is already there. Okay, so what we can do is we can just delete this user. Okay, so we will delete the user and then we will register it again with the same name. So now it is deleted. Let's go back to our app. Okay, and one more thing I wanted to show you that, so here is the action type, which is a registration failed. Okay, reg failed. And as you can see, token was null, is authenticated was false, and loading false, and user information was also false. And this was the action type. Okay, Now let's try it again. Let's keep everything same and let's click on register. So now as you can see, we got back the token. Now is authenticated is true, loading is false, user information null. And this action type is executed, which is reg underscore pass. Okay. Action is yes, this one. So we got this payload type is registration pass. Okay, reg underscore pass. State I showed you. Okay, difference is something we got the token and is authenticate was false. Then it changed to true. Okay, so we have successfully registered the user and this action type is also working. So nothing to do with this create store. It is depreciated, but it's working for us. Maybe if you use Redux toolkit, then you can use this. But in our case, we are not using toolkit, so that's perfectly fine. And it's working also, so no need to worry. It has nothing to do with the actual application code. So I think you can just go through this. I was just worried that why it is showing this stripe, so I tried it, but it's working. So that's working with reducer and actions. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will work on user authentication. We will be taking a stored token. We'll access the backend to have that token validated, and then we'll load the user information. And we'll make this happen each time that the main app component gets loaded. So we need to add more action types. So inside types.js, I will add few more action types. So export const auth underscore pass equals to auth underscore pass. And let me replicate. Okay. And here I will do auth fail. And then this one will be login pass and login fail. Okay, so login pass and this will be login fail. Let's copy this, paste it here. Sorry, this is fail. Copy, paste it here. Need one more for logout, so this will be log out. Okay, let's save this. So we have created 5 more action types. Okay, so let me close this file. This is not required. Then I'll create a new folder inside src folder. So just right click new folder and name it as helpers. And inside this helper folder, I'll create a new file and name it as set auth token.js. And inside we will import Axios. So import Axios from Axios. Okay. Then we need to import, okay, we don't need to import anything. Then we need to create a variable called set auth token, and which is equal to token. This will be an arrow function. So, okay. And inside this arrow function, we will set a condition that if token is there, okay, if this is true, then axios.default, we will set the header. Okay. So default.headers.common. And inside this square brackets, I will do x-auth-token that is equal to token. Okay. And if this is not true, then we need to put a else condition. We need to delete the token. So delete axios.default.headers.common x-auth-token. Okay, let's save this. And then we need to export this. So export default set auth token. Okay, let's save this. Now let's go inside auth.js inside the action folder. So this is auth.js in the action folder. This was the function for register user. Now we need to create a function for loading a user. So I'll do load user. Okay. And here I'll type export const load user equals to an arrow function, and we'll be using async, and then dispatch an arrow function. And here we need a condition that if local storage, so if there is a token inside the local storage, so local storage dot token. Okay, if the token is inside local storage, then we need to set auth token, and here we need to type local storage dot token. Okay, And don't forget to import this set auth token from helper. Okay, let me save this. And even we need all the action types here. So let's first import all the action types. So auth underscore pass, then we have auth underscore fail, then we have login pass underscore pass, then we have login underscore fail, then we have logout. Okay, so all this actions are required here. Okay, after this condition, so if the local storage has the token, then we set up the request in try catch block. So try catch block. Okay, and inside this, I'll take a const response, and we need to wait for the response. Axios dot get, and the path will be /API/auth. Okay, and if everything is okay, then we need to dispatch action types. So type, that is going to be auth underscore pass, and the second one is payload, that is going to be res.data. Okay, and inside the catch block, so let me do error. Okay, error, I'll dispatch action type, that is going to be auth underscore fail. Okay, let's save this. So this is done. Now we need to go to reducers auth.js file, and here also we need all the actions. So let's first import all the actions. So auth, let me copy it from here only, okay, because it is taking too much time. So let's copy this, and I'll paste it here. Okay, let's save this. Now once that is done, here I will add a case which is auth pass. Okay, auth underscore pass, and it will return the entire state. So spread operator state, and then is authenticated, that is going to be true, loading, that is going to be false, and sorry, and user, that is going to be payload. Okay, let's save this. And we have one more case which is login pass, so it will have the same thing. Okay, so here I will type case login underscore pass. Okay, so both the cases will have the same thing, and even registration fail, the login fail will have the same thing, and even auth fail will have the same thing, and logout will also have the same thing. So here I'll add case, that is auth underscore fail. Okay, then what we have, case login fail. Okay, so login underscore fail, and the last one is logout. Okay, all these cases will have the same thing. Okay, we'll remove the token and we'll return the state. Okay, so this is it. Now inside app.js, okay, let's go inside app.js. Here we need one more hook, which is use effect. So let's import that. So import React and use effect from React. Okay, let's save this. Then we also need load user and set token. So let's do it. Import load user from action. Okay, auth, and we also need to import set auth token from helpers. Okay, so this is required. Now we need to run the set auth token. So here, before return, I'll just add a comment, run set auth token. Okay, and let's do a condition if local storage dot token. Okay, if this is true, then set auth token, and let's pass local storage dot token. Okay, let's save this. And after this, we need to run use effect. Okay, so not here. Okay, this run set token will be about the function. So let me cut this and let's paste it here. And inside the function, we need to run use effect. Okay, so use effect, and inside we'll have an arrow function. Here we need to dispatch load user. So store dot dispatch, and here we need to pass load users. Okay, and second argument will be an empty array. Okay, otherwise it will have a loop. It will be having a loop. So to avoid the loop, this use effect will run again and again. So to avoid that, we need to add a empty array. Okay, so this is done. Now in action or JS, okay, so inside this, what we need is, after loading user, register user, we need login user. Okay, so here login user. Okay, let me create a function. So const login equals to, and here we need to pass email and password. Okay, this will be an arrow function, async dispatch. Now inside this arrow function, we need to take a variable called const config. Okay, that is equal to an object which will have headers, and inside this we will have content type that is equal to application slash JSON. Okay, and then we have const body, which is JSON dot stringify, and we need to stringify email and password. Okay, then we will have a try catch block. So try catch block. Okay, and inside this we need a variable const response equals to, we need to wait for the response, axios dot post, and here the path is slash API slash auth. Okay, and the next argument is body and config. Okay, let's save this. Then we need to dispatch. If everything is okay, then we need to dispatch the action types. So type that is going to be login pass. Okay, login pass, and payload is going to be res.data. Okay, and then we need to dispatch load users. So dispatch load users. Okay, and in catch block, let's do this err. Okay, and here I'll take a variable const errors equals to error dot response dot data dot errors. Okay, and here we need, sorry, and after that we need a condition that if errors are there, okay, if there is an error, then errors dot for each, and here I'll pass error, and we will just alert error dot message. Okay, then we will dispatch action types. So type that is going to be login underscore fail. Okay, let's save this. So this is done. Okay, login user is done. Now let's go to component auth login page. Okay, and here I need one more thing from React Router DOM, which is navigate. Okay, we need to, after login, we need to navigate the user to a welcome page. So navigate. Okay, and then we also need connect. So import connect from React Redux. Okay, and here we need to pass login. Okay, and one more prop, which is authenticated, that we need to create. So is authenticated. Okay, now let's come down, and here instead of console log, we need to call login, and here we'll pass email and password. Okay, let's save this. Now if the user is logged in, so we need to redirect. Okay, so redirect when logged in. Okay, so if is authenticated, if this is true, then we need to return the user to navigate to, that is equal to slash welcome. Okay, this component I will not create, but you will see in the browser. Okay, so this is done. Let's save this. Now we need to scroll down at the bottom, and here we need to use the connect method. So connect. Okay, and here map state to props. Okay, to props, and the second argument is login, which is our action. Let's close this, and let's bring this inside round brackets. Okay, okay, here there is something, map state to props and login. Okay, still giving some problem. Could not find name login. Map state to prop is not defined. We'll fix this. Okay, so let's do a const map state to prop equals to state, and this is an arrow function, and inside this we need is authenticate. This is the prop that we need to create, which I said earlier. State dot auth dot is authenticated. Okay, let's save this. This is still giving some problem. So login is not defined. Okay, we need to import login. So here let's import login from // actions / auth. I think this is okay. Import spelling is wrong. So import. Okay, import login from action. So now that message will go away. So now let's do action for, let's create an action for logout. So inside this auth.js, which is in the action folder, I'll just add a comment, log user out. Okay, so here we need to create a function. So export const logout equals to an arrow function dispatch. Okay, and inside this arrow function, I will dispatch the type which is logout. Okay, logout, only logout. Let's save this. So this is also done. Now the last thing which we wanted to do is inside navbar.js, we need to fix few things. So here I'll import connect. So import connect from React Redux. Okay, and then we need to import the logout action. So import logout from /actions/auth. Okay, let's save this. Okay, one thing in login.js, this should be inside curly braces, so don't forget to do that. Now coming back to navbar.js, here we need to pass auth, that is equal to is authenticated. Okay, and then we need loading, and after that we need logout. Okay, so let's save this. Now we need to create variables for guest and authorized links. So before return, we need to create const and auth links, that is equal to an object, and here we will add ULLI. So ULLI, and inside this li, I'll take an a tag. Okay, on click equals to logout. Okay, and href, that is going to be hash and exclamation. Okay, let's close this, and here I will type logout. Okay, let's save this. This is giving some errors, so let's see. Declaration statement expected. Let me add a comment first, then we'll see the issue. So variables for guest and auth links. Okay, let's save this. Okay, this should be round brackets. So let me cut this. I'm sorry. Let me cut this closing and I'll paste it here. Now it is fine. Now we need one more for the guest link. Okay, so let me just copy this and paste it. So once the user is logged in, only logout link will be shown, and if the user is not logged in, okay, then we can show this one. Okay, so these are the links. Just copy this, and here we need to paste it. So let me paste it here, and this one also login. Copy. Okay, we need the entire li, so just copy this and paste it here. Okay, let's save this, and now let's remove this ULLI inside the return function, and here we need to give a condition, okay, a ternary operators, that if not loading, okay, if this is true, then we need to show a div, and inside this div we will set a condition is authenticated. If this is true, then we can show auth links. Okay, or else we will show guest links. Okay, so this is, let me copy this and I'll paste it here because the name should be different. So copy and just make sure to paste it here. Let's close this. Okay, let me save this. So now this is fine, and lastly we need to use the connect method. So connect, and inside I will be using map state to props. Okay, and the second one is the action, which is logout. Okay, let's close this and let's take this inside a round brackets. Save this. Now here we will create a variable map state to props, that is equal to state, and inside the arrow function we need auth, that is state dot auth. Okay, let's save this. Now everything is fine. Now let's see this in action. So let's see the app is running or not. So it is not running. So npm run dev. Let's go to home page. So here it is saying logout. Okay, let's log out. Okay, now let's click on login, and let me log in with the email ID. So Tech Academy 2019, password 1234. Just click on login. Okay, let's close this. So now as you can see, we can only see the logout button. Okay, and the URL is localhost 3000 welcome. So once the user is logged in, he or she will only see the logout button. Okay, and this welcome page. If you want to create a component called welcome, so you can create it, but I'm not creating because this is just a demo. And if I log out, you can see your register and login. Okay. So this is for the guest users. So this is it. And if you click on register, it will take you to register. Login will take you to login. Once you log in, it will take you to welcome page. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just click on login. Okay, now you can only see the logout button. So we have successfully authenticated the user. And one more thing, let me show you the Redux dev tool. Okay, this was something. Okay, so once you log in here, as you can see, it says login pass, and even it gives back the token. Okay, and is authenticated is true, loading is false, and we got the user detail as well. Okay, name and email ID. So I think we have completed the user authentication. Only styling is remaining that we will see from next lecture. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will configure Tailwind CSS in our project. So we need to go to tailwindcss.com and we need to click on get started. So here are the options for installation. So you need to click on framework guides, and we are using React.js. So we need to click on create React app. And these are the steps which we need to follow. So the first one we have completed, like npx create React app and the name of the project. So name of our front-end project is client. Okay, so we have already done this. We need to go inside cd, my project means cd client. Okay, so let's go to VS Code, and here we need to go to cd client. Okay, now we are inside this client folder, which is our front-end folder. Now inside the terminal, we need to paste this command. So let's copy this. Okay, and let's go to terminal, and here I'll paste it. Okay, and hit enter. So we need post CSS and auto prefixer. Okay, these are all Tailwind CSS installation packages. Okay, so let it be installed. Then what else we need? Okay, let's copy this also. Till the time it will install this packages. So auto prefixer is done, post CSS is done, and Tailwind CSS is also installed. Now we will paste this. So npx Tailwind CSS init. So this will create two files, which is post css.config and tailwind.config. Okay, so these are the two files which are created. Now inside tailwind.config.js, we need to copy this code, and here I'll just remove this and I'll paste the code which I have copied. Okay, let's save this. And one more thing, I have created a Tailwind CSS course entirely on Tailwind CSS. So if you want more explanation on Tailwind CSS, you can just buy that course. Okay, so I have explained each and everything in that. So here I will not explain about Tailwind. Okay, I'll just configure Tailwind because if I explain everything about Tailwind, then it will take more time. So it's better you can take that course and you can learn only about Tailwind CSS. Okay, so now in index.css we need to paste this. So let's copy this and let's go to index.css. Here it is. Let me remove everything and I'll paste this. Now we need to do npm run start. Okay, so let's go to cd space dot dot, and here I'll do npm run dev. Okay, this is our command to run the application. Okay, so now we need to check whether Tailwind CSS is working or not. So I'll just go to navbar.js, and inside this nav tag, let me add some Tailwind CSS classes. So class name, that is going to be bg gray. Let's take it 700. Okay. Okay, so Tailwind CSS class is working, and let's add one more to make sure that everything is working. Text white. Okay, fine. So we have successfully configured Tailwind CSS in our project, and I'll do the styling for all the pages in the next video. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you want to buy my Tailwind course, you can just check the post and you can buy it. This is it. Okay, thank you. Right. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will style homepage and navbar. Okay. So let's begin with app.js. So inside app.js, here is the div. We need to add some CSS, Tailwind CSS classes. Okay. So class name, that is going to be bg gray 400. And if I save this and if I go back to the browser, let me refresh. Okay. It's auto refresh. So as you can see, we are getting a gray color background, but this is not full screen. So to make this full screen, here I'll need to add one more class, which is hide screen. Okay. Let me save this and let's go back. Now, as you can see, the entire screen is gray color. And one more thing, like if I type something, I can see more options related to that class. So for that, you need to install one extension, which is, let me show you the extension name for Tailwind. Here it is, Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. So here, as you can see the image, if you type something, there are a lot of options related to that class. So you need to install this. I've already installed it. So this is one thing which I wanted to show you. So this is done. Okay. Now let's save this and close the file. Nothing is required from this. Okay, so now let's go to navbar.js. Okay, I've added some classes in the meantime. So let me save this. Okay, now you will see something like this. Okay, so here, okay, here also I have added few classes. Yeah, this was added by me in the earlier lecture. So let's see. Yes, I need this PG Gray 700. So let's keep as it is. Text white, we also need text white. Then I need text LG, okay, to make the text size larger. Okay, so as you can see, if I hover on this, you can see that font size is 1.25 rem and line height is 1.75 rem. And pixel wise, it is 18 pixel and this is 20 pixels. So this makes easier to understand. And padding, we need 4. Okay, so save this, go back. Now we have the padding as well. Now one thing which I wanted to do is I wanted to add a div after this nav tag. Let's cut this out and let's paste it here. And inside this div, I will add Tailwind CSS classes, which is container and MX auto. Okay, let's save this. Okay, now it is in the center. Now we need flex and justify between. Okay, so now the logo will be on the left side and this links will be on the right side. Okay, so this is done and looking good. Then what else we need? So here in the guest link, I want to add some CSS classes. Okay, Tailwind CSS classes. So flex and space X, that is going to be 2. Let's save this. Okay, now as you can see, these links are side by side. So this looks good. Now, what else we need? Inside navbar, I think it is almost done. Nothing is required here. Now let's go to home.js. Okay, and here we need to style it. So, and one more thing, I'll be adding some icon here. So let's first complete the CSS, then I will add SVG icon, so it will look good. So inside this section, I will add class name that is going to be container and MX auto. Okay, to make the screen center. Okay, now it is in the center. Now let's add a few more classes. And here I will do class name. Let's, if not here, inside this div. Okay, so here I'll do class name that is going to be text center. Okay, we need the entire content to be in the center. So now the entire content is in the center. And let's remove this div. This is not required. So this is starting here and ending here. So let's remove this div. This is extra. So I don't require this. Oh, save this. Now it is, the HTML is lesser. Now in h1 tag, I will add some Tailwind CSS classes. So class name that is going to be text 6xl. Okay, if I save this, here as you can see, we have professional development, a big one. Then we need the text should be in white color, so text white. Then we need font to be bold, so font bold. Okay. Then we need space between the words. Okay. As you can see, these words are too clumsy. Okay, so to add some space in between the words, I'll be adding tracking wider. Okay, let's see. Now as you can see, we are getting some space in between the text. Now we need padding top 48. Okay, so it will come down. Okay, now it is looking better. So this h1 tag styling is done. Now in p tag, I'll add some classes. So class name, that is going to be text to Excel. Okay, padding top will be 4, text will be white, and what else we need? We need tracking wide. Okay, not wider this time, but only wide. So this looks better now. Now we need to add CSS for these two buttons. So right now these are only links. So what I'll do is I'll make this as buttons. Okay, so button, let's cut this and I'll paste it here. Okay, so it will be a button. Same thing I'll do for login. Save this. So now this will be a button, and now I can add class here. Okay, so rounded will be SM. Okay, then we need BG loop 600. Then we need padding from top and bottom to be 4. Padding from left and right I need 4, and padding from top and bottom I need 2. Text will be white. Let's save this. Okay, now we are getting this one, but white. Okay, WHIT is white. Okay, this is looking good. Now I will just copy this class names and I'll paste it here because both the buttons are same. Okay, I need some gap in between. So for that, what we can do is we can add a class here, class name, that is going to be space x4. Okay, save this. Okay, we are getting the space, but I need some padding from top, so padding top will be 4. 4 is better. Okay, so this is looking nice, and here I'll add some icons. So let's go to hero icon. So hero icons, this one, this is mostly used for Tailwind. Okay, this is maker of Tailwind CSS. So let's go take this only, first one. It looks good. So where I need to paste it, let's go inside Navbar, and where is my logo? Okay, here it is. So I'll just paste it here. Let's see how it looks. Okay, now here as you can see, this is like one below other. We need this to be side by side, so we need to fix that. So let's do it. Let's go to VS Code, and here what I can do is okay, let me cut this. I need to think. Okay. So inside this link tag, I'll take a div tag. Okay, then inside div tag I'll take a span and I'll paste the SVG which I've copied. Okay, then this MERN auth, I'll just cut it out, and after the span I'll take one more span and I'll paste it, and then inside this div I will add class name that is going to be flex. Okay, so it will be side by side. Okay, then we need some space in between, so space x I will take 2. Okay, so this is looking good. Now if I click on register, so this page is, we need to style this page, so this I'll be doing in the next video, and even login. So both the page are almost same, so I'll complete this in the next video, even if from here also we can go. So I'll finish that in the next video. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye. Hello friends, welcome back. So we have completed the home page and navbar. So let's close this files, and now we will finish register and login page. So let's open register.js and let me close this. Okay, so now we will style this. So inside this div, I will add class name that is going to be bg white. Okay, and then we need height to be screen. Let's save this and let's check it in the browser. If I go on register page, so as you can see, bg is white. Okay, and the screen is full. Now let's style this register text. So let's go here, and here inside h1 tag, I will add class name that's going to be text blue 500. Okay, and text size will be 5XL, and then padding top will be 4. Let me save this, go back. This is good, but I wanted this to be in the center. So what we can do is let's add one more div in here after this main div, and let's cut this out and I'll paste it here, okay, at the bottom. So now we can add some classes here. So class name that is going to be container. Save this, go back. So now this will be in the, okay, add one more class. We need to add one more class. So MX auto. So now this will be having some space from left and right. Okay. Then we will style this p tag. So class name that is going to be padding from top and bottom 4, text gray 700, and we also need icon. Okay, so first let's save this and go back. So we are getting some space. Let's do some text LG. Okay, this is looking better. That we can try, but let's add a icon. So let's go to hero icon, and here I'll type user. So let's copy this, or you can copy this, maybe whatever you need, you can just copy it and just take this one. And here what I'll do is after the p tag, I'll take a span tag and I'll paste it here. Okay, and this also I'll take it inside a span so that we can make this as flex. Okay, so here I'll do flex, so it will be side by side. Okay, now it is side by side. Now need some space, so space x, let's add 1. Okay, this is looking better, but let's add 2. No, let's keep it 1 only. Okay, this is fine, and this is also looking fine. Now we will style the input. So let's scroll down, and inside the form we have input. So here I will add class name that is going to be, first we will add shadow, then we need border, then we need rounded. Okay, then we need width to be full, padding from top and bottom 2, padding from left and right we need 3, text color should be gray 700, then we need leading height. Okay, this is for line height. Then I need focus to be outline none, and focus shadow outline, shadow hyphen outline. Okay, save this. Let's go back. Okay, so as you can see, this is what we are getting. Let's add a class here which says margin bottom 4, so we can get some space here. Now as you can see, this is looking fine, this is looking good. Let's copy the class from this input and paste in every input. Okay, all the inputs will have the same class. Save this. Okay, margin bottom we need, so let's copy this. Paste it in every div. Okay, this is looking much better. Now we need to style this register button and this one. Okay, so for registered button, I'll take the same class which I have used in, I think, home page, right? So here I can take this class. No, not button is not required, only the class. Okay, so let's cut this, and here I'll paste it. Let's see what are we getting. This is looking fine. I think we need cursor pointer also. So what we can do is we can add one more class, pointer. I think it's cursor pointer, right? So cursor pointer. Okay, this is good. Here also I think, okay, this is already, because we have used button, so in input we don't have that. And now we will style this. So class name, that is going to be text blue 500, heading left will be 1, and that's it. No, I think so. Okay, everything is blue, so we don't want that. So let's cut this, and what I'll do is I will take this inside a span. Okay, maybe we can just, one second, let me close this. We can add class here. Okay, this is looking better. Yeah, so top also we need some padding, right? So let's do it this way only. Padding from top and bottom 1. I think no, this is fine, but here we can add some padding. So last name, that is going to be padding top, 2. Okay, we got some space. So this is our registration page. It is looking much better. Okay. Now we will style the login page. It is almost the same. So we'll just copy paste the classes. So let's do it quickly. So here I'll take this class. Let's go to login, and here I will paste it. Okay. Then after that I'll take a div, one extra div we need, and I'll paste it here. Save this. Let's go back. Copy this class. This one is really quick because all the classes I have wrote, so no need to type it again. Sometimes it is very boring to type all the classes again and again. So now we have this p tag. Okay, so here it is. But I think for login also we need an SVG, right? So what we will take is login. Okay, we will take this SVG, go back, and we will add this inside a span. So span, and I'll paste it, and this one I'll take inside a span. Okay, let me cut this out, paste it here, save this. Let's see how the registration out there looking good. Now we'll style this form. So this is also very simple. Just copy paste. So let me copy this, go back, paste it, and input we need all these classes. So let's copy, paste it. Let's do it all one together. So this is done. Copy, paste it here. Button also we need the same classes. So let's come down and let's copy this, paste it here. Then p tag, same to same class, and this one also. Let's copy this, and I'll just paste it here. Okay, let's save this. Okay, so this is looking much better. So let's log in and see also. Okay, so log in, how it looks. Okay, this is looking better. So this is our welcome page, and if I log out, it will come to this registration and login. If I go to home page, I can see this. This is looking fine. Register, login, looking much better. Okay, I think we have finished styling for registration and login page as well. So this is it, and thank you. Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will deploy our MERN application to the cloud. So we will be using Heroku cloud-based platform as a service because it is easy to use and it also includes a free service tier. So for this demo, we require a Heroku account and we also need a GitHub account. So just navigate to Heroku account in the browser and then we need to click on sign up. So here I'll just sign up and once done, I'll be right back. So I have created a Heroku account and I'm also logged in inside this, and I also logged in into my GitHub account. Okay. And here we will create a new repository. So if you don't have a GitHub account, so you just sign up and you can create your account on GitHub. So to create a repository, okay, we need to click on this new, and here I will type MERN-auth. Okay. And now we will add gitignore file manually, so no need to do anything here. And let's create. Okay, let's click on create. So these are the steps which we need to follow, but before that we will create the gitignore file. So let's go to Visual Studio Code. The reason we need to create gitignore file because we don't want our node underscore module to manage to be managed through our Git repository. Okay, so we need to create a gitignore file inside this root directory. Okay, so I'll create a new file and here I'll type .git ignore. Okay, and hit enter, and here we need to include node underscore modules. Okay, let's save this. That will ignore every branch of node modules in our project. Okay, so let's open the terminal by pressing Ctrl and backtick key. Let's clear this. Now we will go on the desktop and I will go inside my folder, which is MERN-auth, and I will go inside clients folder and I'll delete .git file. Okay, sorry, folder, and even I'll delete gitignore. Okay, so these two files we don't want. Inside the client we need to go. Okay, inside MERN-auth, which is my folder, I'll go inside clients folder and I'll delete the folder which is git folder and the .gitignore file. Okay, now we will follow the steps. Okay, so first one is git init, so let's do git init. Okay, then we need to add all the files, so git add space dot, hit enter. Now let's try git status. So these are all the new files which have been added. Okay, let me clear it. Now let's do git commit. Okay, so here it is, git commit m first commit. Let's copy this only. Okay, I'll paste this, hit enter. Okay, so this is done. Now we don't want to create a new branch called main, so here I will do git remote add origin. Okay, so let's copy this, paste it. This is done. Then we need to git push origin. Okay, so let's clear this, git push -u origin, and instead of main I'll do master. Okay, and hit enter. Now let's go to the browser and let's refresh this page. So all the files are uploaded here. Okay, now let's go back to VS Code and let's close this file. Let me clear this terminal. Okay, then now we need to add a script inside package.json. So let's open package.json, and here, okay, let me minimize this. After the test script, I will add a script, and here we need to give the name as Heroku. Okay, so this is the name we need to give, Heroku -post build. Okay, so this is the script name, and inside this I will do npm underscore config underscore production. Okay, production equals to false. We need to give it false because we cannot run the script in production. Okay, so we need to keep it as false. Then we need to do npm install and then hyphen, prefix space client, because we are running this in client. Okay. Then we need to type end npm run build prefix client. Okay, so we need to run it again, and let's save this. So this is done. We have written the script for it. And then one more thing we need to do in server.js. So let's open server.js, and here after all the routing is done, we need to add a condition. So let me first add a comment production. So this is the condition for production. So if process dot env dot node underscore env, if this is equal to production, okay, if this is true, okay, if process.env.node underscore env is equal to production, then we need to use app.use, okay, and inside this we'll write express.static, and here we need to type client slash build, okay, and then we need to use app.get, and here I'll do asterisk request response, and this will be an arrow function, and inside this I'll send response send file, and we need to use path.resolve underscore dir name. Okay, this will be a directory name, and the directory name will be client. Then we need to build the client, and we need to use index.html. Okay, so we are basically checking to see that if we are in a production, so we are going to tell the app to use my static client build and also using app-get. Okay, so I am setting up my build on the server. Okay, and this will be the minified version of index.html. Again, this is showing, okay, f, we need to use this. All this should come after the routes. Okay, so here we have two routes. After completing the two routes, we need to use this condition. Now we need to install Heroku command line interface. So let's go to the browser. Here we need to click on this icon, and here we need to click on documentation, and after this we need to click on Heroku CLI and install the Heroku CLI. Okay, so here are the options. For Mac it is showing brew. This is the path which we need to install, and here is the option to install it on Windows. So if you are using Windows, then you can just click on this and install it. I'm using Mac, so I'll be using this. I have already installed brew in my machine. So if you don't have brew, so let's go here and brew install Node.js maybe. I have already done it, so I will not do it again. So when open to install, go here, and then you need to follow this. Okay, install homebrew. First you need to install homebrew, then you can install using this command. Okay, you can install Heroku using this command. So let me do it here. Let's go to Visual Studio Code, and here I'll do install. Yeah, let's do it. Maybe it will take some time. So I'm pausing the video. So once it is done, then I'll be back. So this is done. Okay, let me clear this one second. Let me make it bigger. So use Heroku CLI autocomplete via homebrew shell completion, follow homebrew installation instruction. Okay, that's fine. Let me clear this. Now we need to see Heroku version. So Heroku space -- version. Okay, if I do an enter, okay, here it is showing me the version. Okay, just ignore this warning. So as you can see, if you are using Mac, so you need to install through homebrew, and first you need to install homebrew, okay, in your machine, then only you can install it, Heroku through homebrew. Otherwise, if you are using Windows, then you can just download this and you can install it. And if you don't know how to install homebrew, you can just go through some tutorials on Google. Okay, so it is not difficult. Okay, I already installed it, so I can't show you in this video, but I have shown how to install Heroku. Now we need to log in into Heroku, so I'll do Heroku space login. Okay, hit enter, press any key to open, okay, in the browser, so it will open that in the browser. I'll just click on login, and it is logged in. Okay, now we need to create application on Heroku. So let's go to the terminal. Let me clear this, and here I will do Heroku create. So this will create our application. Let's hit enter. So the application has been created. Now we need to go to Heroku, okay, and here let's click on dashboard. So this is the application which is created. Let's go inside this. Now we need to add this as a remote repository, okay. So for that we need to click on deploy, and we need to scroll down, and this is the command which we need to copy. So let's copy this command and let's go back to the terminal, and I'll paste this command and hit enter. This is also done, and now we need to push the changes to Heroku. So we need to type git push Heroku master and hit enter. So this will take some time. Okay, so it is done. So let's copy this link and let's go to the browser, and in the new window I'll paste the link which I have copied. So now as you can see, our application is live. So if I click on login and if I log in here, so it should work. So we are getting this logout page, welcome page. So we have successfully deployed our application on Heroku. So this is it for this video, and this is it for this course. So I'll see you in some other videos and in some other courses. Okay, so till then, take care and bye-bye.